Okay, so this is a virtual laboratory. So when we say virtual laboratory, since we do not meet inside the classroom for face-to-face meeting and use the laboratory instruments and equipments, we can do the laboratory online. Okay, so eto, the link also of this virtual laboratory site is in your workbook, so you can click that. If it doesn't work by clicking it, you copy and then put it on the search box on the internet. Okay, so etong virtual laboratory experiment na ito, kung mapapansin ninyo dito sa may upper right corner, are you seeing my cursor? Nakikita ba itong cursor?
Sir.
Okay. Kung mapapansin mo, meron nakasulat dito na hold constant. Kung pipiliin mo nating ibig sabihin, walang magiging constant property of a gas. So all the properties that we've discussed, the pressure, the temperature, and volume will play together in the simulation. But once you click, let's say you click the volume, for example, ibig sabihin, you are making the system which is the isochoric system or the isovolumetric system, wherein we defined a while back as it's a process where volume is kept constant. So pag pinili mo naman temperature, then it's an isothermal system. Kapag pressure, then it's an isobaric system. Okay? So let us try, for example, to put some air, or let's say meron tayong procedure dito sa ating workbook. Sundan nyo lang, ano. So sabi niya dito sa Boyle's law, pump one time, then on the hold constant box, choose temperature. So ang gagawin ninyo, sundan nyo lang yung procedure dun sa workbook. Sabi niya, magpa-pump daw tayo. So yung cursor ninyo, ilagay dito sa may pump. Okay? Yan, itaas mo, i-hold mo, and then sabi niya, we pump one time. Yan. So kung mapansin mo, nag-pump siya ng, those blue things are representation of the gas particles. Yan. Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina, that once you put gases inside the container, the gases are freely moving and they bounce from wall to wall. You will also observe that some of the gases are hitting each other. Because of the heating, there is collision that happens, and when two objects collides or rub each other, of course, temperature also increases. Tama? So you can just imagine, pag dinagdagan mo ng mas maraming gas inside that container, yan, dinagdagan ko ng gas inside the container, then there will be more gaseous particles that will hit the walls of the container, or particles that would bump or collide with each other, hence increasing the temperature and of course increasing pressure, the pressure of the gas inside that container. Tama? Tama ba ako? Yan.
Yes, sir.
So, sabi ng procedure natin, let us try to put the system at constant temperature. Yan. Okay? So, kinonstant ko ang temperature. Ang nangyari, ang temperature niya, which is kept constant, is 300 Kelvin. You can also choose the unit. Okay? I-click nyo lang yung may arrow dito. I-click nyo lang. Kung ayaw nyo ng Kelvin, pwede kayong gumamit ng degree centigrade or the degree Celsius. Okay? And so, at 27 degrees Celsius, okay, or 300 degrees Kelvin, pareho lang yan. Tama? Kasi, when you convert 27 degrees to the Kelvin scale, you just add 273. So, 27 plus 273 is 300 Kelvin. So, pareho lang itong mga ito. But, let's just use the 300 Kelvin because that's the standard unit for temperature. So, ang nangyari, at 300 Kelvin, constant temperature, ang pressure natin is 8.9 atmosphere. Now, we are testing the Boyle's law as what the workbook is telling you. Diba? Sabi niya dito sa workbook natin, Boyle's law, that's letter B. Boyle's law, sabi niya, pump one time, then hold constant back, choose temperature, and then pump again for 5 times. Okay, so balik tayo dun sa ating virtual laboratory. So sabi niya, pump 5 times, dalawa na yung na-pump natin. Dagdagan ko pa ng 3. 1, 2, and 3. So you can just imagine the solid particles. Excuse me, that's not solid particles. The gaseous particles or the particles of air that is being pumped into the container. Tama? Mas marami na ngayon, so you can just imagine kung gaano karami ang collision and the bumping of the walls of the container. We kept the temperature constant, and then mapapansin ninyo nagbago ang ating pressure ng 26 point something. Now, kung mapapansin ninyo, parang nag-change siya ng pressure. Okay? Depende kasi yan sa movement ng mga particles sa loob. Ang ibibigay lang sa atin actually is the, let's say kung mas mababa ang movement, mababa ang pressure. Mataas ang movement, mas mataas ang pressure. Kaya ganyan, pabago-bago ang pressure na binibigay sa atin. And also, you can also click the arrow in here para may convert mo yung temperature from atmosphere to kilopascal if you want to. But let's just use the atmosphere because that's the standard unit of pressure. Okay? And then, according to our procedure, basahin nyo lang ulit yung procedure. Sabi niya, slowly resize the container volume by sliding the handle at the left side of the container. Try increasing and decreasing the volume, and then observe what happens to the pressure. And you may also click the eraser icon to reset, sabi niya. Okay, so balik tayo sa ating virtual laboratory. This is the handle wherein you can expand and you can also compress the container. Okay, so pwedeng i-expand, pwedeng i-compress. You can do this, you can play with it online. Okay, so sabi niya, ano daw ang mangyayari sa pressure kung i-compress natin ang volume? Okay? Ang nangyari, yung pressure from 26 kanina, tumaas ngayon, nagre-range siya ng 50. Ang ibig sabihin, if the volume is decreased, the pressure increased. Tama? That's Boyle's law. The Boyle's law also tells us not only that the product of the pressure and volume at initial condition is equal to the product of pressure and volume at final conditions, but the Boyle's law also tells us that the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. Anong ibig sabihin? Kapag sinabing inversely proportional, if the pressure increases, the volume decreases, or vice versa. If the volume is increased, pressure is decreased. But if the volume is decreased, the pressure is increased. So etong ginawa natin, dinecrease natin yung volume, and so consequently the pressure is increased. It's inversely proportional. Okay? Now, lakihan naman natin yung volume. Okay? Yan. Nung nilakihan natin ang volume, the pressure from 50 kanina or 26 kanina naging